Hey guys, well I thought I would try and do some music related vlogs from now on and get a bit more into the habit of doing this. The first one is about string changing and sort of like general guitar maintenance. This was suggested to me by one of my best subscribers, Ralph, or Sport on YouTube. Thank you, Ralph. And he said, why don't you sort of like do a video demonstrating how do you sort of change the strings on your guitar and maintain your guitar, and what's your favourite sort of like routine, if you like. This is my trusty PRS, and it's currently strung with gauge 10 Dodarios. Here's what I did. So I'll try and remove all the strings that are on here. They're usually old. So with the guitar like this, these are locking tuners. You just unlock them all. This is a 10p piece to sort of like unlock the locking tuners, slip out the strings, and all is good, pull them out, throw them away. Try and tie them up as well, because strings are often very, very sharp. People don't realise the damage that they can do. If you've ever had a guitar string go through your finger, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's kind of painful. The next thing I do is, if you've got a guitar with a trem, by the way, I should mention, when you take the strings off, this tremolo bridge will naturally want to go and hit your guitar body again. When I'm doing, removing the strings, I slip this bit of card from my string packet underneath there to stop it from sort of like imprinting into the guitar body. It probably won't leave any marks, but if there's something stuck under there, you don't want a great big gash in your lovely shiny guitar. So that's good practice. Once you've done that, if your guitar has a load of gunk on it, which is quite probable with me, I go through strings like I'm some sort of acid machine. I basically oxidize the living daylights out of them and then go black and gunky, and if that builds up on your strings, the intonation is lost. You start to feel they're sticky, they're not smooth under your hands anymore, so that's a nasty thing. You want to get rid of it. But it's good practice to use quadruple 0 or 0000 fine grade wire wool. Now be really careful with this stuff, because as it sounds, it is abrasive by nature. What you do is you get a piece of this wire wool, a little piece, and you rub, when there's no strings on here, you rub in between the frets in line with the grain, never against the grain, because you will scratch the wood. And you're basically going to be left with a really nice shiny neck, and which basically means when you put new strings on it, you're not going to get that old oxide building up on your fresh string, mucking them up prematurely. Once you've done that, what I like to do is run a bottle of this 65 Ultimate Lemon Oil. This stuff is really, really good. It's useful for guitars with rosewood necks, ebony necks, whatever, but not maple fretboards, I believe. It's a certain density of the wood is not as porous as rosewood or ebony. You just sort of dot it up and down, and then go and find microfiber cloths. I use these for everything. Once you've sort of like spotted some lemon oil on the neck, the next good idea would be to sort of like gently rub it in all the way along the fretboard until you have basically saturated your fingerboard in lemon oil. Don't put so much on that it gets everywhere, but put enough that you actually see the wood literally soak it up and get darker and look more healthy and alive, because that is your goal. You're moistening up a dry fretboard. It feels beautiful, just like it was when it was brand new. So then you start to string the guitar, put the new strings on. If you've got locking tuners like this, then it's a lot faster to do this. Sort of just like make the hole go sort of like in line with the neck, and then pull it through, get it as taut as you can, and lock the pin down. Tighten it with a penny or a coin or whatever else you want to use, a little pair of wire cutters, and just snap off as cleanly as you can any excess string. If you're doing this one string at a time, I'd recommend winding it up a little bit just to get the tension back into your guitar again. If you haven't got locking tuners, or you have a Strat type guitar, or just any guitar without locking tuners, it might be a good idea to buy one of these. It will save you some time. This is a string winder. So try not to get the really cheap ones, because the screw comes loose and these start to get sticky. But if you have a good one, you just basically stick it over your tuning peg and start to wind round and round and round, and that will allow you to get a large amount of string onto your tuning post in a short amount of time. That's always a good thing. Once you've sort of like roughly got it in tune, get your strings and give them a good old tug, a good old stretch. So just sort of pull them up and give them a wiggle to sort of make sure that they're nicely stretched and that there's no excess sort of like lurking in the bridge saddles or here that would make them slip. So that will just make it make it so that your first tune up stays in tune rather than slipping horrifically out of tune the minute you tune it up. So, and then if you've got a tremolo guitar like this, I like to give it a good yank on here so that I can really pull the strings up and down, and really, if there's any instability for tuning left in these brand new strings, I'm trying to whack it out basically by doing this, and voila, you're ready to go. Another good tip would be to look after the body of your guitar. The external wood is something that you want to look after as well. Keep this healthy. Get a bottle of guitar polish like this. This I bought with my very first electric guitar. I believe I was 12 years old or 11 years old, I can't remember. This is the same bottle. This is over 10 years old. And you know what, I use just a little drop of it, and you put it on a microfiber cloth like this, and you just start to rub in little circular motions across the body of your guitar, and that basically will polish out any small imperfections in the lacquer. If you've got any scratches, very fine surface scratches, it will try and even these out quite nicely, and it just gives a nice healthy shine to your instrument. So that's a good thing to do. It's good practice. The same goes with both of these products here. So guitar polish and lemon oil, these last forever. This bottle here, lemon oil, it must be at least 5 or 6 years old. And how much have I used of it? Less than a quarter. At the moment, the strings I'm using are these wonderful D'Addario XL strings. They are gauge 10. These are balanced tension strings. They are really, really awesome. This was machined to ultra high standards, more than a regular set, and you can hear it. They do sound fantastic. I mean, a good guitar that's just been set up nicely does have this beautiful ring about it, even when you're not plugging it in, you know. And that's just that feeling of having a lovely zesty set of strings. No one can take that away. You know, there's nothing more satisfying. Hope that helped. If you like this and you want to see more guitar or music related videos, any ideas you want me to vlog about, leave them in the comment bar below. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'll hopefully see you in another video soon. Alright, peace out.